Light game number 2, and looks like Mo is going to be his turn to go with something fast.
And every time you see those Sphere Goblins and there's a Mother Witch, you get it placed on the bridge. We saw it over and over again, and I think Josh talked about it. It's beautiful to see if you're the Mother Witch player, because all you see there is value, value, value.
And this is we saw this yesterday. I mean, it's not going to turn into as bad a result as we saw happen with the same situation yesterday, but trying to defend at the bridge with E-Barbs, an immediate Mega Knight in response.
Yeah, this isn't looking great at the start for Mo. He's definitely on the back foot here. Has to spend a lot on defense, not only the first time around, but this time around. Mortar alone would not have been enough, and he might actually even get a Hoggy hit, and he does, even with all that defense coming down.
Bar barrel on the right-hand side. Sandbox so far pitching a shutout here in the first minute. No damage on either tower. Mohamed Light down to 1851, and certainly not liking the situation thus far.
And what I've seen,
as he does throw a miner.
Yeah, what I've seen more of today than I have in the last month and a half with this meta, in my opinion, is poison. We have been so used to seeing Fireball in every deck. I don't know what these players have been expecting from each other, but today we've seen a lot of poison decks, and maybe there's something brewing up that we don't know about yet, and that they're all ready for.
Yeah, it is curious because Graveyard has certainly fallen out of favor in the current meta from being pretty much everywhere, and not even with the significant change to Graveyard, just with the cards that were propping up the popular Graveyard decks. So I'm not seeing as much poison here. And look at this, going Piggy's left-hand lane and defending the right-hand lane. Nice exchange here for Sandbox.
And he doesn't mind that at all. Anytime he can bring out those elite barbarians, he knows he has Mega Knight in hand. He has those zappies, and a little bit late on the timing. That is a very uncharacteristic mistake out of Sandbox, and it might cost him a lot of damage here.
Does Mo... No, he does not. I was going to say, does Mo stop that Zappy from connecting and make sure that Mortar stays on tower, but decides to go ahead and set up more defensively here. Mega Knight in, E-Barbs in, Mother Witch behind.
Yeah, and that Muskie is just in range of the splash for the Mega Knight. And the Zappy doing work. The one that he did not want to take care of actually helped him a lot in that defense. But look at the damage that Mo was able to get on that push.
1137 to 1240 if you look crosswise. Mortar down one more time. Big split 2-2 with the Zappies behind on the right-hand side. E-Barbs in defense on the left-hand lane, but that will even this thing up, take the lead back here for Sandbox as we go into sudden death overtime. The rookie here putting the pressure right now on Mohamed Light, who is facing elimination.
What Mo is doing right now is making sure he doesn't take too much damage. He knows if this gets very late into the game, he can cycle those miners. He does have Fireball. This is not one of those miner mortar decks that doesn't have a big spell, so he's not too worried as long as he can keep his towers up, and he's playing this the way he should be and what we expect out of someone that is that smart with cycle decks.
Mother Witch on the mortar, that's a great target there that Mohamed would prefer as opposed to a Shroot. Does not turn a Piggy out there. You can't turn a building into an animal, unfortunately for Sandbox in that one. Miner goes to the back, and that's a Mega Knight pushing the right-hand lane.
And that is a full miner connection, and he just can't do anything about it. That's what it came down to. He knew all he had to do was hold off for a little bit longer, and now just one more miner chip the way that it's been going. He might even Fireball along with it if he wants to take a little bit more of a risk. If not, he should just hold on to that Fireball. We know it'll go on to the Hoggies every time, and he should end up winning this game.
Well, he can't defend with like a Zappy surround because it'll turn right into Fireball bait, and even this will turn into a Fireball problem. So on the left-hand side is the only chance really now for Sandbox to go ahead and steal this win. But with 149 and a quick cycling from Mohamed Light, as long as there's no mistakes right now, and that should be enough, Fireball will come in and end the game, and we are all tied up at 1-1.
And that's why you want to go to comfort for Mo. Play those miner decks. He's just too good with them. And even then, it is a good matchup, in my opinion, for him. It is. Josie has been someone that has played. He's been around everyone. So that's why I think he gets a lot of the upper hand, because he knows the pro player mentality, what they like to go to. And I think that's a big advantage for him. And like you said, it's time for trying to pull all those resources and get Sandbox in a good position. And when I said something outside the box, I'm not sure I meant Fire Spirits, but I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, what?
Yeah,
I feel like the last time I saw Fire Spirits in CRL was when it was in Season 1 in 2018 for North America, when Royal played a Golem Fire Spirits deck against Royal Hogs, went Golem in single, and then Fire Spirits the Royal Hogs in the opposite lane. And I think and I remember it so well because I believe that's the only other time I've seen Fire Spirits here.
You remember it well, I remember it better. I was the team that was playing the deck that got countered. So trust me, if you remember it, I remember it. He kept fires. It was a Musketeer Hoggies deck, and he had Fire Spirits Fireball, and it was just terrible. It was such a bad experience.
So here we go. We're a minute and a half in, and Fire Spirits are in CRL. I mean, we've seen everything. I'm trying to think of, is there a card that has never been played in Clash Royale League? Mirror has been played, obviously, going back to some gameplay from 2018 by the mad scientist himself, OP Sam. I'm trying to think of if there's an actual card that has never made an appearance at this point.
I think everything has been played, and thank you, Sandbox, for making that dream come true for all the Fire Spirit players in that 4,000 trophy range that, they still have that creativity flowing. And I don't mind it, but we have to see if it works, because creativity is not always the way to go. Thinking outside the box and something that other people don't expect is one thing, but using cards like this could be very risky.
Very risky indeed, and trying to hold off against this Ram right on the left-hand side. Is this a Royal Giant deck? What's he going for here?
It should be. Whenever you see Hunter with that Fisherman and the Mega Minion, it tends to be a Royal Giant deck, but I can't tell you exactly what it is, just because with that Fire Spirit, with that Bomber, it's so hard to tell, and that is an RG that is going to be disappeared very quickly.
Disappeared very, very quickly. Can the defense hold on here? Fire Spirits with Zap doing a good job here at the top, but the Elixir advantage still holding true right now for Mohamed Light, who goes in with the Ram Rider. Like the Ram Rider, and look at that bar barrel just clearing the way there for the Ram Rider.
That was so smart out of him. Not only did it take away the Bomber, but it predicted the Fisherman, and that was definitely flowing through his head. It wasn't a coincidence. He knew that there was a Fisherman that was going to come down. It's his only real defense once that Hunter is off the board, and just a very, very smart play out of Mo that we've said that I don't know how many times already.
Yeah, we should definitely get that bar barrel in the replays after this game here. Over to the booth as we go into sudden death overtime. 15 seconds ticked away so far, and we've been talking a lot about the pressure Mohamed Light, but currently the lead's still going for Sandbox.
Yeah, and it's all going to be about, can he continue to hold on? It feels like he has a nice grasp of the game right now. That one Hoggie's actually going to get on the board and get a couple hits for him that swings it in his favor. He's been getting a lot of nice zaps. I will give that to him to make sure his Fisherman stays alive, but just too much pressure right now.
Oh, and the pressure is great. Look at that. Mohamed Light can smell blood in the water. Sandbox goes, it's over. GG, well played. Comes from behind. Does Mohamed Light. The throne still defended for the moment. At least one more match. He's moving on.
He's so good.